I'm visiting my sister here in Japan. She was starting to make matcha.
I was going to pour some hot water into it and then mix it with a spoon. There are lots of clumps.
We need to fix this. I think if she had cheaper matcha, I was gonna leave it alone until she took this out of the refrigerator. Our brother actually bought this for her. To be fair, she has a whole setup back at home. So I went to the store and got some supplies. I got her a matcha whisk. It doesn't have to be the bamboo one. It could be the electric frother. With the bamboo whisk, there's a little bit of prep involved, but I feel like you get better bubbles. I also got her a little wooden matcha scooper. She could totally just use a teaspoon. The other important thing is getting a strainer so that she can sift out all of the lumps. So I'm not trying to make this like a whole tea ceremony thing. I just want to make sure that she has lump-free matcha. So the first thing that I learned I had to do was actually soak the matcha whisk in hot water. When you soak the bamboo whisk, it gets it ready for all the whisking that you're about to do. Otherwise, it would just snap off and break, like what I did with my first matcha whisk. So first I like to use a chawan, which is a matcha bowl. And you don't have to use a matcha bowl if you don't have it. Just use a bowl that's big enough to fit your whisk. Heat up your chawan with hot water. I also use that to heat up the whisk. You don't have to do this, but it keeps the bowl nice and warm and keeps your tea warm for longer. Wipe it down, and then I start sifting the matcha through the strainer. And then I add water a little bit at a time, depending on how strong I want the tea. So I asked Amory how she whisks her matcha, and she did it in a circular motion. I learned that it's effective to whisk using the M or W motion, and then you're gonna swirl around a little bit at the end to get rid of the bigger bubbles and lift your whisk towards the center to collect all the little bubbles in the middle. You don't have to do that last part. You can just like whisk in the M and W motion and just be done with it. And there you have your matcha. I'm sure there are other ways that people do it, maybe other formalities that I may have missed. Again, I'm not a matcha expert. I just don't want to see my sister drinking lumpy matcha. And like I said, if you're using like a cheaper matcha or if you don't care, that's fine. You don't have to do any of this.